Hi there, Nicholas Loise from GKIC on live with the man, the legend, the crazy MF, Ryan Stewman. Ryan, how you doing, my man?
Well, man, I'm always hustling. That's how I'm doing, man. I'm always hustling.
I love it. And I was worried because when we were doing the kind of the pre-chat, I was nervous because all I could see was always. And I never know what's going to happen with you. So I never knew what was under the always, you know. So
right. We're safe today, sir.
I'm safe today. I'm safe today. I love that. So you are, where are you at? You're in Kansas City? You're in Oklahoma?
Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
All right.
Yeah, so you're in the middle of flyover America. Might as well have been Kansas, right?
And I know you got to get on the road. I know you're taking kind of time off and then just share some knowledge and drop all things closing to our folks. And then you got to get on the road and you're going to do a teaching tonight in Dallas. But one of my favorite guys in this business, one of my favorite hustlers, right? Because you are a hustler. You didn't grow up with a silver spoon in your mouth. So tell everybody your backstory, kind of how you broke into this crazy business. But I think your backstory is one to know because a lot of people struggle with their past and it gets in their way of their future. And you are a product of your past, but you didn't let it hold you back.
Yeah, so let me preface it with my story with this and how it'll tie into closing. You see, closers are people that put the finish on things. And
like that?
Closers don't quit. Excuses to overcome that. People give you an excuse not to do business with you. And a closer is somebody who overcomes excuses. What I'm about to present to you with my story here, my goal with that would be for it to remove the excuses from your life. Because no matter where you're at in your life right now, no matter what kind of hell you're going through, no matter what kind of situation you're facing, whether it be divorce, a custody battle, a business going bankrupt, a business partner doing something terrible, I tell you, I've been there. See, when I was 7 years old, my father, being the stand-up man that he was, decided to give me up for adoption. And I was adopted, and not only did, and it wasn't like I was a baby. I was 7 years old. So I was comprehensive, like my family no longer loves me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was old enough to be able to form thoughts, and I had to go to school and explain to the school kids why my name had changed. Man, it was a nightmare. And so it wasn't long. By the time I was 15 years old, I dropped out of school. I hated school. It was always a weird place for me because of the whole adoption thing. It just like forever turned a course there. And much like most people who are adopted and drop out, where I was selling and using drugs. And at the age of 19, I died. Right? So like I said before I started this, I am going to remove your excuses, okay? So I dropped out of school at age 15. By age 19, I'm dead. When they wake me back up, the only reason they saved my life was so they could arrest me and throw me in jail for having for the intent to deliver drugs. Me up at the hospital, and the police officer walks in. He reads me my rights. First thing that I see is like I'm chained to a bed, and there's a police officer. He reads me my rights. I end up going about a charge, and I ended up doing 2 years almost in state prison. I got out. I cleaned my life up. I told myself when I was inside there after the horrible things that I witnessed, I told myself I would never break the law and never go back to that place. I cut ties with everybody that was in my circle, that everybody that I knew, all the drug people. I cut ties, started this brand new life, came out, got a job at a car wash and said, I'm going to be the best damn car wash guy on the planet. And I was. And one day, one of my customers took notice and offered me a job in the mortgage business. Well, car wash, mortgage, right? Like I'll take AC over the Texas heat any day, baby. So I joined the mortgage company. Within 6 weeks, I'd made $21,000 in commission. What used to take me a half a year to make, I had made in 6 weeks. Man, I might as well be Bill Gates. I was rich, right? I was young and rich and still had my looks and everything else. I was on top of the world. I went and bought a big house, nice cars, got the hot girlfriend, and the police came and thought I was selling drugs again. Kicked in the front door of my house. I wasn't even home. There wasn't any drugs in my house, no scales, no paraphernalia. That's not where I was at that time in my life. But the police didn't want to admit that they were wrong. They ended up charging me for possession of a gun, even though they didn't catch me with the gun. And long story short, I was supposed to go and do another 25 years in prison, but a miracle happened. You see, divine intervention took place in my life. The man that I just like randomly selected to be my attorney was a black man who was a Democrat in Dallas, Texas. The reason why I tell you those three things is because in the history of Dallas, Texas, there's never been a black man that's a Democrat in any public office. And my guy ran and he won. He became the first black Democrat, the first Democrat DA ever, and he became the first black district attorney ever. And so these two historical events happened, and some people got in trouble in the Dallas city limits, and he leveraged them against me to help me get out of my, to help me reduce my sentence. So I went from 25 years in federal prison to 15 months in federal prison, which is still a long time, but a hell of a lot shorter sentence than 25 years. Sure. And again, when I was in, federal prison, I read a lot of books, and I asked myself, it's like, how the hell did I get here? What in the world? I had my life together. I wasn't selling drugs. I wasn't doing drugs. I wasn't hanging out with drug people. Like, how did I get here? And I realized I was on a mission. And so I get out of prison. I go to work, and it's 2008. I'm 15 months behind. I got married before I went in. My wife took all my money, sold all my houses, ran off with the landscaper. Like, it is a nightmare. I get out of federal prison in 2008 with $25 in a check that they give you for being a broke ass in prison, right? They're like, you're so broke, we wrote you a check for your time in here. It costs $5 to cash the son of a bitch across the street from the prison. So now all of a sudden I got $20 to my name, and there's a McDonald's right next to the place, and I'm hungry as hell, right? It's like, I'm broke is what I'm getting at. Like, the only money that I had immediately had to spend to feed myself. And so in 2008, I go and I get a job in the mortgage business again. I'm hungry. I'm 15 months behind. I make $300,000 in 2009. I came back from nothing, $20, put $300,000 on my W-2 in 2009, which is the worst year to be in the mortgage business. The absolute worst year is 2009. I did 183. Yeah, I did 183 loans that year by myself. And so in 2010, I'm on top of the world, right? Again, I might as well be Bill Gates, right? I come from $20 to $300,000, and Barack Obama signed into law something called the Dodd-Frank Act. And there was a little caveat in that said that if you'd committed a federal felony in the last 7 years, you can get a mortgage license. And that was it for my career. This career that I had made millions of dollars in, this career that had been the only thing that had supported me through the good times and bad, the only thing that I knew to rely on for 8 years. From my reach, there was nothing. I'm not break the rules. I don't want to be in a situation where I broke the rules and somebody's like, it's that guy there, and they're like, oh, you already have 2 felonies. That's it. Come with us, right? That's a simple open and shut case for me. And I don't want to put myself in that situation. And so that's when I was introduced to internet marketing from a friend of mine named Michael Reese.
Oh yeah.
And Michael gives me yeah, I'm sure you know Mike. And we now own business together, Mike and I. But
really?
I did all of his loans. Yeah, when he was a real estate agent, I did all of his loans. And so he gave me some Ryan Dice DVDs, and they taught me how to upload a WordPress blog and all that. And I did the work, and about 2 months after I did the work, I got a ding in the middle of the night that somebody bought my shit. And I was like, what? This really worked, right? I kind of like almost forgot about it. And so I went all in, and that was 7 years ago in 2010. This year, my company will do between $5 and $6 million. Or I have companies that my 2 main companies, Break Free Academy and Hardcore Closer, will do between $5 and $6 million in sales for the year. Last year, we did a little bit over $2 million in sales for the year, and all that started because of the persistence and sticking with this whole internet marketing game, because it's the only thing that was there for me. Right, I needed a job where I didn't have licensing to worry about, I didn't have a boss to worry about, and this was the game for me. And now I'm fortunate, blessed enough to where, I'm getting close on taking $10 million out of this game probably in the next year. And it's exciting times to know that what you can do with like the tools that a lot of that's come from GKIC stuff. Man, I've been a member of y'all's programs for forever, obviously. But the reason why I share that story with you is not so you can feel bad for me. Don't feel bad for me. As soon as we get off this, I'm going to Houston and buying a McLaren. Don't feel bad for me at all. This is what I want you to do, though, is I want you to think like you may not be as successful as you should be in your life. You probably got a tremendous amount of talent. You're probably awesome at what you do. You're passionate about the people. You serve in the right marketplace, but you're not making $1 million, or you're not making $250,000, or you're not making $50,000 a year, or whatever level that you're living at. And you've got an excuse. You're like, the excuse is, oh, I'm this color skin, or excuse is I have this level of education. The excuse is I'm from this part of the country, or the excuse is I'm of this gender, or the excuse is I'm of this sexual preference, or the excuse is like, there is no excuse. I'm telling you, I'm living, walking proof. And whatever situation that you've been in, I've probably been in a situation that's worse. And I'm not saying that I've been in the worst situation of everybody in the world, because Lord knows there's people suffering all over the place. But I've been through a lot of suffering. And the only thing that's allowed me to get to where I'm at, besides sales, the only thing that's allowed me to get to where I'm at is perseverance and getting rid of my excuses. Notice every time I never said, and I was taken advantage of by the police, and my poor parents left me, and my poor, it's like, no, you know what? I don't have any excuses. Those things happen to me, and it's my job to overcome them, just like it's my job to overcome objections as a sales guy.
So let's segue into that. But you had to have at some point thrown a little bit of a pity party, or did you never throw a pity party of yourself? And did you? I mean, you talk about finding kind of Zig Ziglar as a young man, and how that was like that changed your life and that put your trajectory on. So you've always been an investor in yourself, and you've always been in the sales game. So don't you think a lot of people, they get in their own head, and that's what causes all of their problems?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that if there's one thing that I could attribute to my success, or just my ability to work in general, is I don't overthink things. I just do it. Matter of fact, I'm usually the guy that somebody's got to grab me on the shoulder and pull me back and go, hold on, before you just start doing that. Sure. Abraham Lincoln once said if he was given 6 hours to chop down a tree, he'd spend 4 hours sharpening his axe, right? I would have never thought of that. I'd just been out there swinging for 6 hours.
You're like Grant Cardone. I was talking to Frank Kern the other day. I know you and I both know Frank, and he said, I'm in Grant Cardone's office. He goes, I don't know what you internet marketer guys do. I just go real hard all the time. Just put me in front of people and I'll close them. You're kind of the same personality, right?
That's it. That's it.
So let's talk about closing, because this is all about closing. And what I know you said, a closer is a person that gets shit done, doesn't get in there. And I probably put the profanity in there. You didn't, because I know right before you spoke on our stage, I had to go up to you and say, oh, by the way, don't drop an F-bomb. So, I'm not saying that we should do that here. But, what's your definition of a closer? And really, what is it that stops people from closing?
Well, so a closer is not just, in my world, it's not just a salesperson. That's a part of it. But a closer is somebody who finishes what they start. If you close a sale, that means that you started a sale, finished the sale, right? And like, if a closer and a finisher can even be an entrepreneur. A lot of people, they start this project or start that project or start this project and run this campaign and get started over here, and they never finish anything. A closer closes everything. The things that I teach my people is a closer closes the sales conversation. They close the duties. They keep their word. Like, that's a finisher would be a better word than a closer, but that's what you do. When you close stuff, case closed, that means it's over with. There's nothing else to be done. Move on to the next case. That's how I look at a closer. That means that everything and they do in their life, they finish what they start before they move on to the next day.
Okay. And a lot of people don't follow up. And you and I are passionate about follow-up and the importance of follow-up and follow through. In fact, I just wrote an article about this for our newsletter. I know you talk about this a lot. Why do you think people don't follow up? What gets in their way? Why don't they follow up on leads? Why don't they follow up on sales that didn't close? All of that good stuff.
Well, I'm certain I know why. And before I say that, I just want to point out that the FU money is in follow-up. We say that all the time. It's like the chances that your client or your prospect is ready to buy today are slim to none. People live in a perpetual state of research. And the reason why a lot of people don't follow up is they don't have any value to add, right? And they don't want to seem needy. To a lot of people, follow-up is, hey, man, you ready to buy yet? Oh, you're not ready yet? Okay, I'm going to follow up with you later. That's what most people view as follow-up. But follow-up can be just like you guys, where you're giving out money magnets and you're giving out free ebooks and you're giving out free videos. That's follow-up too. And a lot of people don't realize that the two are the same. So that's one part. So they're not adding value, so they don't want to follow up, right? Because they don't want to seem needy and all that stuff. The other is people don't follow up because they haven't earned the right to. If our initial conversation, and if I deliver value in that initial conversation, I'm going to have no problem calling you going, hey, Nick, you really like that stuff. What do we got to do to move forward here? Versus if I've like tried to badger you into something and you told me no, I'm not going to follow up with you because, I put you in a bad situation and you had to lash out against me before we stop the process. And the third reason that people don't follow up is because they're lazy, right? Like that's obviously the simplest one of the three, but we know that in our business, people come to us all the time and they say, give me some leads, give me some leads. And we start pouring leads on them. And then here 2 or 3 days later, they acted like they wanted some leads. But truth is, they're scared to death to talk to people. They're scared to death, overwhelmed, and they got so many leads that they're like, and for that reason, I'm out, going to go back to work in HR again. So those are the three, like everybody of those categories, not adding value, right, follow-up, or just purely lazy.
All right, now you pinged a little bit, so let's go back to that. The three categories are, again, not adding value, right? Lazy, and then what was the third one?
Haven't earned it. Haven't earned the right to follow up.
Okay. Now I know that our folks say that you guys, your business, your companies have one of the best sales processes out there. So I mean that's good. Can you talk through that to the people that are on this webinar right now? Kind of how'd you set up your process? You know, trial and error. What have you learned that works and doesn't work? That type of thing.
So our business has been based around Facebook ads. Facebook ads and offer people an opportunity to read a blog post. It's like Facebook ads, like, hey, would you like this blog post at hardcorecloser.com? And suppose, and then the blog art sell our stuff. And so once somebody hits our blog, first thing is they're retargeting on Facebook because we got pixels on there. Then we can retarget them through Google and YouTube and everything else because we have pixels on there for that as well. But then they start getting every day they see a different ad, and then they get a different email and a different voicemail. And we have a flame rating. So we've actually, like, since you and I talked last, we've actually taken this up on steroids some. So we have a flame rating. So as people are going through our follow-up process and getting voicemails, text messages, and emails, what's happening is every time they open it, we give it like weight, right? It's a numerical. Okay, they opened 5 emails. They've opened this email 6 times. And once you get to 10 pieces of weight, then what happens is we have a flame system, and it says this is a hot lead.
Sure.
And so once they've opened 10 things from us, because we all know that you need to follow up with somebody 8 to 12 times before they become familiar with you. People buy from people they know, like, and trust, which is familiarity. And so our job is to get in front of people 10 times with the follow-up. Well, at that point, when they get a high flame rating, that's when it gets transmitted over to my sales. And they pick up the phone. It's like, hey, we noticed that you're engaging a lot. We noticed you're getting a lot out of this stuff. Do you have any questions for us? And my sales team doesn't say that, hey, it's Ryan with Hardcore Closer sales team. They say, hey, it's Ryan with the customer satisfaction department over at Hardcore Closer. How's things going? And so it just, that way, there's like the drops down on the front end. And it just changes the game for us because now my sales team, because we're getting 2,000, 3,000 leads a month. And I've only got, like I said in the beginning before we got on here, 6 salespeople. So there's no way they could keep up with all of that. So we let our, what we call the robots, do all the automated follow-up. And the people that engage the most with the follow-up are shipped over to the actual human sales force to be able to get on the phone and talk to them. And most of the time, I say get on the phone, but that doesn't necessarily mean an actual phone call. Most of the time they get on the phone and it's direct message or text message that they're closing their stuff from.
You know, you are a big fan of this, right? You're a big fan of the mobile phone and the mobile device. And, you know, I love, huge fan. I love your outgoing message. When I call your cell phone, you're like, hey, dude, don't even bother leaving me a voicemail message because I'm not going to check it. And if you're a salesperson in today's world, you got to learn how to use this and send a text, right? So you utilize all different forms of outreach and media. So let's walk through your process so we can get granular for our folks. You hit them from Facebook, they come on over and they go onto your blog. You kind of ferment them there. We learned, I was on the phone with HubSpot folks a while ago, and they said a lead from Facebook, they don't bother with unless they've read 3 to 4 blog posts and watched 1 or 2 videos, right? And I think you got the same thing. You got to let them ferment.
Sounds like the same thing.
Yeah. And so they've learned that, I mean, they're let's learn, let's test. They spend a ton of money on that. Then you put them through and you call it flames, right? We call that a hot lead, and they're triggering. And once they get to 10 flames, then you're flipping it over to your folks. They then give it a call, but it's not a sales call. It's positioned as, hey, you know, I'm from the customer satisfaction team. I really want to know how it's going. You know, let's talk. And then from there, you try to find out, you do a need analysis. Do they have set questions that they ask, Ryan?
We do. We have a process that I shared with your people in April when we were there called CATCH. And so the CATCH is an acronym for our sales system. Well, the T part of CATCH it stands for talk them through the pain. And so that's exactly what we're doing is we're trying to – there's a reason why somebody shows up in GKIC's funnel or somebody shows up in Hardcore Closer's funnel. They have some kind of pain in their ass that they need to get rid of. It could be lack of money. It could be lack of follow-up systems. They could be missing sleep at night. They could have perfect credit, a bunch of money in the bank, but they could be missing sleep at night because they know they could be making more. And so they've got some kind of pain, and that's what my sales team's job is, to extract what that pain is. And, you know, we do it in the manner of a doctor. Doctors are the coldest salespeople on the planet. I mean, they have the best clothes ever. It's like, I don't know, doctor. You know, I don't know if I'm going to do that. And they're like, but you could die. And you're like, sold, right? To the man in the brown shirt here. So doctors are pretty cold closers. But what they do is they prescribe people. And so when you go in, the doctor doesn't try to sell you cancer. He doesn't go, let me tell you about the latest and greatest bone disease, right? He doesn't do that. Instead, he's like, hey, what's the matter with you? What do you think caused that? Well, let me feel on it a little bit. Does this hurt? He starts asking a lot of questions to where he gets the whole thing figured out. And then once he knows exactly what that person's problem is, he diagnoses them. That's how we treat our selling process. And we know from the beginning, everybody wants one of two things, more leads or an automated system. That's what they show up to us for. They need more leads or they need an automated system that closes them. So all I'm doing is asking those, or all my team's doing is asking the right questions to figure out which one of those is the problem, and then what they plan on solving once they solve that problem. Because lack of leads is fine, but really what they have is they have lack of leads, which means they don't have enough money, which means they need to pay something somewhere that needs to be handled, that they need to be able to get an extra additional amount of income to be able to handle that. And that's what I'm trying to find out. Maybe they're facing divorce. Maybe they're starting a new business. So once we extract that and then realize what it is practically they need and then what it is emotionally they need, then we diagnose them.
All right. So that's interesting. So they come to you really looking through leads, more leads, or an automated system of follow-up and that type of thing. They don't come to you, but they also need to become better closers, right? So is that a byproduct of kind of what you do and what you sell?
Well, my opinion, it is. I tell everybody we trick you with this whole you'd let somebody leave the sales floor and not buy from you. And so my whole thing is, I help people generate leads. Like, first of all, what you really want to sell. If you like video games, go sell video games. We can sell millions of them online. And so I think of it as a modern closer. I don't like cold calls. I've done it. I cut my teeth on them. I don't like knocking on doors. I've done it. I got my stripes on them. I don't like going to networking with a bunch of bums that don't have business. So what I teach people is, instead of doing all those things that wait, let me plug you in a modern way of closing, which is sales funnels, automation, follow-up videos, and all of that stuff. So while you got guys like Grant Cardone that tell you, hit the phone, just hit the phone. When you hit the phone, text, because there's a 9 out of 10 chance, there's 9 times higher chance that they're going to reply to a text than they are a phone call or an email. And so we're the hardcore culture of the era. Years it's kind of been confusing to the sales world, because they show up and they're like, well, what do you got me doing all this lead gen stuff? I'm like, how you going to close people if you don't have people to talk to?
All right. So now you're pinging a little, because I know you're traveling. You just gave a speech and then you're going to do another speech. So you're probably on a hotel Wi-Fi. So let me repeat it just to make sure that people get it. So I thought that was fascinating. So people come to you thinking that they're going to be closers, right? To learn how to be closers, but you really teach them lead generation. And you kind of say, listen, if you're struggling with money and you're struggling with trying to find out, get more in your pocket, you're probably selling something that you're not passionate about. So let's find something that you're passionate about, and we're going to teach you how to sell that, right? So you can be passionate about video games, you can be passionate about McLaurins that you're going to go buy, or you can be passionate about houses. Let's get you to that. Let's teach you how to sell that. But the first thing to do is, teaching you how to be a better closer is important, but you need leads, because if you're not in front of anybody, you need leads. In today's day and age, cold calling, right? Kind of a waste of time. We all did it. I did it. I grew up in the 80s in the financial services where, we were cold calling beasts. We're running around with our white power shirts and our suspenders, and, we're pounding the phones. And I don't know if I do it again, but if I got to feed my family, I'll do it again, right? And then knocking on doors and all that stuff. We've all done it, but today's marketplace really needs lead generation. And then from there, we can teach you to be better closers. I know your opinion, but did I synapse what you said, but not as elegantly as you, and stylish as you did, but did I do a good job?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And the time that you waste cold calling and networking and all that stuff, you could set up a sales funnel with automation, and your client hits you up at midnight and your stuff from it. So it's a new way to close sales. It's still sales and it's still closing. It's just a modern way of doing it, because people don't show partnerships these days. People don't just looking at side. What happens is people go online and they enter their information to get some information somewhere. And that's the new sales process, that process.
Do you think the sales process today is faster or slower?
Slower.
Is it?
Why? Slower, because the customer has more options than ever. And so they don't have to make this is the only choice I got to close today. Like back in the day, I don't deal with a lot of car salespeople, but we have some of them. And mostly it's internet marketers, coaches, real estate agents, things like that we help. But that's back in the day, you couldn't get on the internet and look at a car dealership's inventory. And so you had to show up at the dealership. You knew you were going to meet a salesperson, so you usually chose to do business right then and there. These days, a person could be looking for 6 months at different inventories online before they show up. I said earlier, the prospect's not ready to buy right now because every day people see 3,500 advertisements, yours being one of them. And so people seeing 3,500 ads, they get distracted because this is the new shiny object. And so it does. There is a slower process of buying because also there's information leads to indecision. The more stuff you have to think about in process, the less you're going to be certain and confident about making a decision on, right? So there's so much information out there that leads to like information overload. So it just takes a lot longer, I think, in the selling process. For me, if you're just watching me for the first time today, it's probably going to be 6 before you decide to buy something. No, because like the first phase is like, what's up with that dude's hair and his accent and the way he talks, right? And then there's like, boy, he's kind of cool stuff. Then the third is like guy in the beginning, but he's right. I'm going to buy the stuff from him. And I understand that I have to be in front of you for those 6 months for you to go through that transition. Back in the day, in the mortgage world, just 15 years ago, I was able to talk to somebody, get their social security number and everything right there on the spot. But we didn't have Lending Tree. We didn't have Zillow and all the other options that are out there like we do today that happens as it did back then.
So, and once again, I'm going to repeat just because I got some people that, you know, they're on their edge of the seat, listening to everything you're saying. You're giving good stuff. You think people, it's taken 6 months now, the sales process for people to kind of buy from you. And it may be faster, maybe slower, but over the course of time, they got 6 months, right? So they got to say, who are you? Why should I trust you? Why should I do business with you? Then is, well, I think what he's saying is kind of interesting. I want to learn more about that. Then boom, you know what? He's right. I need to buy his stuff because I've been watching him for 6 months and he's been imparting wisdom on me and his message is right and it's really where I need to go. So therefore, I really want to do business with this guy. And then once you get them after that 6 months, it's a much better relationship too, right? Because you and I both know, because we do a lot of Facebook leads and we do a lot of LinkedIn and Google leads, the real quick buyers, they're on to the next thing. They just kind of clog up the system, I believe. I don't know if you find that too.
No, yeah, for sure they do. They do clog up the system, you know. And,
all right.
And what's in more time?
Hey, my man.
Cut out on me. Did you say something?
Yeah, you're cutting out on me. I don't know if it's your Wi-Fi. Why don't you take off your video and let's see if I can just hear you better. And then I'm going to ask some questions that we're getting from the folks. Did you drop off? Are you there, Ryan? I can't hear you. Are you there?
I lowered the definition. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Oh, it's much better now. Much better now. All right. Hey, you want to answer some questions from some folks?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right. So I got one, and it's really kind of an interesting one. She's here has a buyer who wants to know what's happening in the mind of the seller. Any advice for someone like me? For example, I'm a researcher. How do I get in alignment with my seller?
So the person is looking to buy stuff, you said, and did we leave you? I am now the room administrator. Well, hello, everybody. I am the room administrator. So if I understand the question right, the person's looking to buy, and they want to be more in the mind of the seller. Does that sound correct, Nick? I think Nick left altogether. I think now that I got your attention, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, now I run this shit. Now that Nick's gone and it's just me here, I'm pretty sure it was his damn internet that was messed up and not mine. I'm just saying. But here's what I do know. I can see if there's some questions over there. All messages are public. And I will definitely answer some questions over there. It says, does anyone have questions for Ryan? Post them there. It's going to share my structure. Saying to come out on your connection. I think it is. Maybe Nick's does seem fine. Maybe I'm just in the room by myself. Let's see if this is the late one. Oh, wow. That was bad in the background. Who's that bad? That is one of my, that's hilarious. Lydia, this is one of our salespeople. Say hello, Roxanne. Hi. Look, there's a bunch of people in the room. We're all trapped there. Come stand up here and say hello to everybody. They're all over here closing via text message, right? That's my cameraman, Alex. We've got Roxanne over there laid up with us, and then we have also Travis here. We were just doing, Lydia, a speech here for about 800 people at the Association of Realtors here. And so since we were doing this big speech, we had to check out of the room at noon. So they moved their stuff over here in my room, and they're just hanging out, being quiet while we're in here doing our thing. So good times. Can you guys hear me? All right. Let's see. Can you hear me? John Simpson's put some stuff there. Hey, Nick, you're back. What's up, man? We just been chilling and entertaining people while you were gone.
I heard
having a good time over here.
Did you drop any F-bombs on my folks while I was away? Wasn't there to watch you?
You'll next the replay, sir.
All right. Well, let's go to some other questions I got. I love your position on, and I think this person did some research on you, that it's not the market, it's the man. What do you mean by that? And I think you mean man. It could be female, it could be Martian, it could be anything.
Yep. Well, so, when I was a mortgage guy, it was 2009, the world was coming to an end, and I went into the bank and absolutely slayed it. I closed hundreds of loans, and the guys next to me got the same leads I did. It was the same economy for them, the same situation, the same underwriters, same processors, but they failed, right? They would be failing. They would only do 1 or 2 loans a month, and I realized that it's not the market, it's the man. The difference was I worked harder at becoming more talented. I worked harder to invest in myself. I read books. I showed up to work early. I stayed at work later. And those guys chose not to do those things. But yet they would go saying, oh, man, the economy's rough. It's a bad time to be in the mortgage business. Like, it's a bad time. I had $300,000 W-2 this year. Like, it is not a bad time to anything. But again, it wasn't they blamed the marketplace to take the blame off of themselves. And really, it doesn't matter. I'm going to make money in good times, bad times. I made more money under Obama than I did Bush. I'm going to make more money under Trump than I did Obama. The president doesn't have anything to do with me, whether the economy's up, the economy's down, the market's up, the market's down. I'm going to continue to make money because I'm not concerned about the market because I know I'm the man. And so I'm going to show up and do what I need to do, which is what closers do, which is finish everything they started because that's how you get paid. Whereas a lot of people will blame something besides themselves, right? Because nobody wants to go, oh man, maybe I'm bad at sales, or maybe I'm not working hard enough, or maybe I need to get my life together, or maybe I need to get better, or more talent, work harder, whatever the case. Instead, they just say, oh, it's the market. But I assure you, it is never the market. It's always the man. There's somebody who makes money in a down economy every time, right, Nick? We hear the economy goes down. When the mortgages tank $700 billion, those guys that were the smartest dudes on Wall Street shorted all that stuff and made trillions of dollars.
I agree. It's the hustle and it's the person, right? It's the hustle and it's the drive. It's always be hustling. I love this next question, and it's from Larry, and he said you work on a 10 email system with prospects. He says, does this work in the B2B market, right? Because everybody thinks B2B and B2C is different. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. It works in B2B. We have a lot of B2B clients, actually. People do payroll, merchant services, stuff like that. So sales is sales. The key for sales is to find a need and fill it. And that's the great thing about sales funnels and all this other stuff is you can make offers to fill needs for people and get it in front of enough people. And listen, there's whatever problem that you have or that you think your customer might have, there's more than one person with that problem. And it doesn't matter whether they're B2B, B2C, ATM, none of that stuff matters. What really matters is the fact that you just get in front of people and close them on your stuff. So, people, that's kind of like that marketplace thing. It's like, yeah, it works for B2C, but it doesn't work for B2B. That's like another one of those. And I'm not saying anything bad about the question asker. I'm just saying that's another one of those limiting beliefs that we have.
Yeah. All right. And so another question we have is they want to know the CATCH acronym. And I know that you so it's about closing, right? And we want to talk about systems and marketing systems, that type of thing. And you got some bonuses from the people that if they buy magnetic marketing, they could get the immediate bonus. And two of those bonuses are, what are you going to give the people?
Yeah, so CATCH. Funny you should say that. The bonuses are that you get the CATCH system. So right. I spoke twice for you guys back in April, and I taught CATCH from the stage, and then I taught our phone funnel method from the stage. So my man Alex, which I introduced while you weren't on here, somebody said there's somebody on the bed in the hotel room. I'm like, there's a bunch of people in here, right? Like the whole crew's here. And so Alex recorded that for us, obviously. So we have those, and they're private. We don't share them. They're not public links that we give out of respect for you guys. And obviously, I don't want my stuff getting all out over the internet. So, but for the people that buy Magnetic Media, you will absolutely find out what catches. You'll not only learn the acronym, you'll learn how to implement it. And I promise you this, it is the simple, most easy, most powerful sales conversation on the planet. Trust me, you name a sales trainer or a sales book or even a sales program, there's a 90% chance that I've already taken it, already been through it, and I've put all this stuff from all my years experience, like you said, from Zig Ziglar when I was 13 years old, all the way to, the guys that are out there now, like the Cardones. I've taken all of them, Brian Tracy, Jordan Belfort. I've taken all of them because I have a serious interest in sales, because it's been the only thing that's there for me my whole life. As I told you in the beginning, I couldn't rely on my family to be there. I couldn't rely on government programs to be there, or even friends, because I moved around and school was weird. Sales has been the one thing that's always been there for me. So, man, I can't tell you a seminar that I haven't been to that revolves around sales. Like, I've been to them all because I've just I'm immersed myself in it, because that's what you do when you want to win and want to be the best, right? You just got to immerse yourself in the field.
So you and I know you are a master on consuming information, but really not just consuming it, implementing it. And you and I were, every time we talk, you're like, oh yeah, I was just at this mastermind with Frank Kern, blah, 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 blah. I just bought this course. I wanted to, I'm speaking on the GKC stage. I went through this course. I went through this course. I went through this course. You are a master consumer, but you take that of information products and you implement them. And it goes back to the GKIC system, because you've been a member of ours for a hell of a long time. You've been an information member, you've been a diamond member, you've been a gold member. So you really have roots in the magnetic marketing system, right? So if people want to get the magnetic marketing system, which we're going to talk about in a couple minutes, just kind of click over to the right where it says, move to cart and buy that system. Your system and process really is the magnetic marketing system. It's putting leads in funnel, setting yourself up as an authority, positioning yourself as the person to do business with, no matter what. If you're a mortgage broker, if you're a personal consultant, if you're a speaker, whatever it is, position yourself as authority, and then really close those leads. And that's the magnetic marketing system. But you wouldn't do it on the fly. If you were starting over tomorrow, you would go out and invest in systems and take those systems, what you learn, and implement them, correct?
And I'm where I'm at today. I bought magnetic marketing that you're talking about. My first really step into this world was $8,000. I paid Frank Kern and Kevin Nations $8,000 to learn how to do small events and coach people. And that was $8,000. That was last Thursday. I had 76 people to pop in there. Do you think that was worth the $8,000 investment?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was the best.
That was my 23rd one, by the way.
Wow. Congratulations. I mean, I give you a lot of credit. I'm a fan of yours, a fan of your story. I know I love you as a person. Great father. You spend a lot of time with your father. You post a lot on Facebook. And you give back to the community, which is the important thing too. So congratulations. You've come a long way, and I know you're going to be a rising star. You are a rising star, but you're going to be at the keynote speaker at our next event. I'm going to twist your arm when we get off this phone to get back at that. It's going to be in Orlando again, and I want to have you there. But I'm going to talk a little bit about magnetic marketing. I know you got to catch a plane to get to do some teaching. I appreciate you being with us. I appreciate you doing that. I'm going to talk to people about magnetic marketing, the magnetic marketing system. Thank you for being here. We'll do a replays for your folks. We'll get you the link over. And Ryan, thanks for everything you've done. Is that all right, my man?
Yeah, absolutely, Nick. And man, anytime you need me to come out to one of your events or whatever, you just let me know and I'm there. I got you, brother.
All right, thanks. All right, folks.
Thanks again, man.
Take care. All right, folks, we're going to talk magnetic marketing. I hope you appreciated Ryan and all of the wisdom. I know there was a couple choppy points there. We'll get a replay out to everybody for that, and we want to take care of you. We appreciate you taking time. Listen, we talked about the importance of a lead system. We talked about the importance of having a funnel and having a daily influx of leads to make yourself a better closer, to help you grow your business, to do better over the course of time. And that's what the magnetic marketing system. If you want to get the bonuses, we've been throwing a lot of bonuses at you. Ryan just put 2 more bonuses there. We'll make sure you get all the bonus. But let's talk a little bit about what magnetic marketing is. And it's a system that is unlike any other. In fact, we're celebrating our 25th year. And what you get with magnetic marketing, first is you get all of the core principles and teachings of Dan Kennedy and all the subject matter experts. In there, you'll learn how to position yourself, how to create a unique selling proposition, how to move people through your funnels and your processes so that you are the only choice in their mind. The second thing that you're going to get is you're going to get the magnetic marketing toolkit. In this toolkit, which comes to you as a USP, you get and you can see it right there, you're going to get hundreds of copyright-free templates, Facebook ads, Google AdWord ads, LinkedIn ads, direct mail pieces, postcards, everything you need. All you do is tweak them a little bit, put your name in it, put your contact information, put your call number in there, and you can start sending those out. So I saw somebody ask about how do I post on LinkedIn? How do I post on Facebook? These things are in there, and it's all there for you. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to get 5 master classes on what we call magnetic internet marketing. So there you're going to learn about the importance of Facebook, how to create Facebook advertising, and how to make it lead generation for you. LinkedIn, Google AdWords, how to create landing pages and websites that convert. So not just branding websites, but what we call lead generation websites. And then finally, you're going to get what we call the vault, the magnetic marketing vault. Here, we've gone to thousands of our members, the best and the brightest of GKIC, and asked them for samples, right? Because there's nothing worse than having ad space and not knowing what to put in it, or following ads of other people and not knowing that they work. So all of these ads that are in here are proven to have worked for our people. In fact, they're all case studies. So we've asked for the results. So you know all of these ads work, and they're for all different categories. So if you're a professional practice, if you're business to business, right? We had questions about business to business. If you're a service business, if you're in sales, if you're a speaker, that's all here for you. So it's an entire system. It's an entire lead generation system. And it's really at the lowest price that we could possibly sell it for. It's for $497, or if you need to break it up in payments, it's 2 payments of $298.58. This is a product that is celebrating its 25th year. It's launched thousands of businesses and thousands of people, professional speakers. It's everybody that is a solid student of GKC and of Dan Kennedy all attribute their success to magnetic marketing. So I don't know why you're here. Hopefully you'll learn some stuff. Hopefully you'll learn the importance of setting up a marketing system, a marketing funnel, numbers of systems to get leads and lead flow and lead generation. And from there, you could take those leads and convert them. You could sell those. If you want a system that's proven, you don't have to worry about, does this work? Am I wasting my money? Is this important? Yes. Because there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of people out there that are selling things that may or may not work. We know this works. It's proven over this length of time of 25 years, and it's proven by our best members. We get testimonials every day. In fact, 2 weeks ago, we had somebody post on Facebook. They're evacuating Florida, but they took the bare essentials. They took their family, they took their family album of their wedding, and they took magnetic marketing. If that isn't a testimonial for something that works, I don't know what is. This product I've used in my personal business. Mine is substantially older. I bought it in 1994. I've used it to set my sales career up for success, my sales management career up for success, and 2 separate businesses. I owe my life, my livelihood, and the ability to pay my mortgage and put my kids through private college because of magnetic marketing. I am a testimonial to this product. I believe that this product should be on every small business bookshelf, and I believe it should be on your bookshelf. And that's why we're offering it today at this low price of $497. We've created the best bundle of products and services and bonuses that we possibly can and have put them all together. But you have to act. You have to take action now. You have to click on the button that says buy now, or you have to give us a call at 1-800-871-0147. That's again, 1-800-871-0147. Our team is here to work with you. Our team is here to make you successful. We are all Every day, I have 20 employees that are invested in the success of small business and entrepreneurs. We are your champion. We are here to help you. We want to make you successful. And the best way to be successful is to put your life on a trajectory of growth and put your business on a trajectory of growth. To have constant lead flow coming in so you don't have to worry. To have a constant source of leads. To have a system, a proven system for lead flow and for follow-up and for closing. So we produce closing scripts for you so you can learn how to close. If you're not a good closer, you just have to kind of learn the words or teach your staff how to say the words to close people, whether it's over the phone or face-to-face. This is a system unlike any other. It's time tested for 25 years, and it's got the full GKC guarantee. If you don't like it, 30 days, play around with it. You get immediate access for buying it. Play around with it. If it's not for you, just give us a call, send us an email, send carrier pigeons. We don't care. We'll refund your money, right? So if it doesn't work for you or if it's not for you, we don't want to be in that type of business. So if after 30 days, it doesn't work for you, just give us a call. But once again, you have to take action. We are here to be successful. We are here to help you be successful. We want you to be successful, but you got to take the action. And that action is clicking over to your right? So put a buy now button or give us a call at 1-800-871-0147. Once again, 1-800-871-0147. If you need me, if you want to talk to me, if you want to ask questions about that, give us a call. I can answer them. Our staff can answer them. We're here to help you. So let's see if there's anything. If anyone, all right. All right, folks, it looks like how many email copies are in the toolkit? Kathy, there's over there's hundreds of different ads and I think 144 of different emails and landing pages and postcards in here. I don't know how many are emails, but there's a high, there's a high amount of both of them. There's hundreds in the vault and 144, I believe, on the toolkit. And from that, you guys, it's going to have both. You could also take ad copy or Facebook ads and use that in emails also. So it's all there for you. Once again, give us a call, 1-800-871-0147. Click on the Buy Now button. We appreciate it. We appreciate you being the members. We appreciate you being on this training. And if you need anything, just give us a call, 1-800-871-0147. I'll stay on if there's any more questions, but it looks like we got everything taken care of. Once again, folks, the choice is yours. You've got everything to lose and nothing, it's all here. We are here to help you, but you got to make that choice. You have to choose. Do you want to put your business on a constant stream of leads? The more leads you have in your pipeline, the better closer you'll be. Studies show that a full pipeline, people will have a much higher closer rate than anything else. So you need to have a full pipeline. This is a marketing system unproven and unlike any other that will help you feed your pipeline. It's just up to you. It's your choice now. Once again, I appreciate it and thank you all. Take care.